a rich man's world. I have turned the soul of this beautiful land, but that beauty, a rich man's world. I have turned the soul of this beautiful land, but
Yo, 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 what is good, good people? What's up, what's up? Yeah, welcome back to another edition of Don't Listen Podcast Sports Talk. Oh yeah, and yes, we are still in the building. Yeah, it's been a while. It's been a while since we talked some football, good people, and you know, we got to start making this a regular thing. So, you know, we got to mix it up a little bit. You know what I mean? So, you know, we got to keep a little continuity. But I am back with some NFL news for y'all. You know what I'm saying? And we just going to talk about 5 things, just like I did in the other video. We're going to talk about 5 things, 5 stories. I'm going to read a story, and then I'm going to give y'all my opinions on it. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, tell me if you like it. Put it down in the comments. Like, subscribe. You know, follow us on all listening platforms because we are there. Okay. And come by the group. Come join the group. We are on Facebook. Don't Listen Podcast on Facebook. Come join the group and you know, you get direct links to everything, and you know, we got a chat section. You get in there and say something, and I will respond. I promise you. So come join us on our social media platforms. We also on Instagram and Twitter under my government, Terrence Perry. Absolutely. So yeah, come out there and check us out on all social media. Okay, the first story I got for y'all. Okay. For Cowboys fans, being though I am one. So yeah, we're gonna start with the Cowboys, okay? It says, like it or not, Dak Prescott faces a make it or break it year. It said, we've looked at how to fix what ails the Cowboys in the front office and the coach's room, but there's still more work to be done on the field of play. The man under center, the quarterback, usually gets the biggest paycheck on an NFL team, which is very true, good people. And since the retirement of Troy Aikman, the Cowboys had 2 franchise quarterbacks, Tony Romo and Dak Prescott. Okay. Aside from the disaster in Minneapolis in 2010, Romo did everything he could to get Dallas to the NFC title game, but came up short. Right. The man who replaced Romo, Dak Prescott, has posted a very good regular season numbers. He led the team to 4 playoffs appearances in 7 seasons, but like Romo, he hasn't gotten it done when it matters. Okay. Despite compounding the issue for Prescott, even though they made the playoffs and beat Tampa Bay, he regressed in 2022. Despite playing 3 fewer games, he tied Davis Mills in interceptions. Okay. Had 3 pick sixes, 15 interceptions, which led the NFL. Making matters worse, Prescott turnover seemed to come at the absolute worst time. Up 28-14 with 40 seconds remaining in the half. Prescott throws a pick to set up the Bears field goal. Cowboys overcame the error, but the play gave the Bears life. Okay. We're going to stop reading right there. And let's talk about Dak Prescott. Okay. Because me, as a Cowboys fan, myself as a Cowboys fan, I had the privilege, if you want to call it that, to see Troy Aikman, how he moved, to see Tony Romo, how he moved, and also to see Dak Prescott, how he moved. And what I would say is Dak Prescott, he gives you, where he do check the boxes, he gives you the rah-rah guy. He gives you all the great talking points at press conferences. He gives you all those things. But what he don't give you is consistency. And what I think is that regardless of how much a guy makes as far as money, no matter how much money he makes, I think it matters that when these big games come and your play is the reason why teams lose, great Dallas Cowboy teams lose, and the only thing that stays the same is him, but all the talent around him has changed over the years, what is the problem? I would say, me personally, I would say that it can be always everybody else. Because, see, other guys can have bad games. But the good thing about a quarterback, when you see a guy having a bad game, you could throw the ball somewhere else. You have a plethora of guys you can get involved in the offense. But when a guy throws picks all the time, we can't keep looking at other guys and saying, yeah, it's them, when obviously we know it's you. So with the title of that article being, "This is a make or break season for Dak Prescott," I thought last year should have been that. 7-year sample size and the same outcome. First, second round of the playoffs, out of there. Now, for the most part, I don't think Dak Prescott is a guy that could lead a team to the Super Bowl. There, I said it. I just don't see it. Too much inconsistency in the play. Now, if a team is bad, okay, you get on the field, you look good against them. And then some teams like the Bears that they lost to should have been an easy win, but it was made hard because of the turnovers. Now, a lot of stuff got pushed on Kellen Moore, offensive coordinator. And I think they scapegoated him, in my personal opinion, because an offensive coordinator can only call the plays. So all he can do is call the plays. He can't make guys go out there and throw the ball when they supposed to. He can't make a guy go out there and make the ball accurate. He can't make the ball, you know, on the right play go to the right guy. Because to me, what I see when he plays the field, when he play and he's on the field, I don't see no field reading going on. I see timing. I don't see no reading of the defense. That's what make a great quarterback. You know, if you is reading it, you're reading it slow. You understand? So that's my opinion on Dak Prescott. Mediocre quarterback, you're always gonna have a mediocre finish. Now it don't make me feel good in saying that. Because I like Dak Prescott. As far as a guy, he's a nice guy. Everybody like a nice guy, right? I'm a nice guy. 95.49% of the time. But you have to, like I said, 7-year sample size, man. Now, if this is the make or break year for Dak Prescott, let it be that. But this season, which will be his 8th season, this season, you got to show and prove, man. You have to show and prove because people tired of the mediocrity. Cowboys fans for 30 freaking years barely sniffed the playoffs and haven't sniffed a Super Bowl since 1996. I'm getting old. I want to see another one in my lifetime. And unfortunately, I don't think the way this quarterback is playing, I ain't going to say this quarterback, Dak Prescott is playing. And if he continues on this trajectory, I don't see no way Cowboys make Super Bowl. You can have a good regular season because you're beating up on the NFC, which only have very, very few great teams, good teams. That's my opinion. And I'm entitled to it. And I am a Cowboys fan, so can't call it hate. I've been around 1984, been watching Cowboys, and have been a Cowboys fan. Stop playing. Okay, so let's get off of Dak. Let's go to this next story. And this has something to do with Dak. And I think it was really unfair what happened to Kellen Moore. I think it was bull crap. Scapegoat, making excuses for mediocre quarterback play. That's just what it is. So let's see what they wrote here. The Dallas Cowboys are moving on from offensive coordinator Kellen Moore after 4 seasons. Despite the success his unit had in the years when Dak Prescott stayed healthy, his philosophy didn't always see eye to eye with that of Mike McCarthy. All right, so with that sentence being said, let's say this. Cowboys last year, number 1 in offense. And when the Cowboys was winning, nobody said anything about Kellen Moore. Nobody said that Kellen Moore was the reason why the Cowboys didn't have a good record. The offense worked pretty good for the most part. until the quarterback started throwing interceptions. And like I said, when I was talking about Dak Prescott, Kellen Moore cannot make Dak throw the ball when he's supposed to throw it. Kellen Moore can't make Dak Prescott scan the field and find the right guy to throw the ball to at the right time. He can't do that. Kellen Moore wasn't the guy throwing in the double coverage when you had a guy wide open on the other side of the field. Kellen Moore gave Dallas Cowboys a top 10 offense the whole 4 years he was there. So is it really Kellen Moore, or is it the people that he got on offense? Now, Pollard did his thing this year, good people. Ugh. 1 second. Sorry about that. Okay, so Kellen Moore can make these guys play and do what they supposed to do. Now, in the beginning of the year, they were saying Dak Prescott, it ain't his fault. The receivers ain't running the right routes. Or they not running the routes the way they supposed to be. Okay. Now, when you got rid of your number one, and these guys only been in the league for one season, you know, how'd that work out for you? And then you go out and you go looking for a wide receiver when you had one already. Came down to money. I don't think he worth the money. What? Went to Cleveland, had a good season. Amari Cooper wasn't a bad wide receiver. It wasn't on Amari Cooper to throw the ball and then run out and catch the ball. I'm just saying. All right, so see what else they got here. McCarthy explained how Moore's view of what the offense should do clashed with what was best for the whole team. The Cowboys head coach took issue with Moore's reluctance to run the ball, according to Michael Gelkin of the Dallas Morning News. All right. So let's say Ezekiel Elliott great years he had for the Cowboys. I want people to understand this is not hate for Ezekiel Elliott. I think he was a great running back for us. I think they overused him, and that's why he's running like he's running in sand right now. Because waiting for Dak Prescott to catch up to where Ezekiel was, they had to overuse Ezekiel Elliott. They was a pass heavy offense the last 2 years. But people forget Ezekiel Elliott did lead the league in rushing a couple years and was one of the top running backs for like 4 or 5 years straight. So, you know, when you overuse a guy and then you say you wanted to run the ball more, Pollard gave you what you needed. Again, obfuscating. It ain't Dak, it's everybody else. I don't think Pollard got anything to do with getting the ball to the wide receivers. I don't think running backs have the stat called INT and pick sixes, which Dak had 3 of. I don't think no running back has that on their stat line. So the running game, if you'd have ran the ball more with Zeke giving you -3 yards, Well, he give you about 3 yards a carry, a little less than that. I think Pollard was a lot better, but you can only run the ball so much. You run the ball with Zeke and he gets you 1 or 2 yards. That makes second down a passing down, right? Or if you run it again, and let's say you got 3rd and 4, is Dak going to be consistently hitting the tight end, hitting the back out the backfield, hitting the wide receivers on a quick cross? Is he going to do that consistently? Because the only consistent thing is Dak Prescott. Everything else has changed. Ezekiel Elliott was now running the ball less because of Pollard. You got rid of Amari Cooper, and you went with the young boy at wide receiver. So what has changed? Everything around him. Offensive line changes. Guys are getting old, past their prime. Salute to Tyron Smith. But please, people, like, we have to be smart and call what you see, that writing on the wall. You got to call what it is. You got to say what it is. Everybody quick to put it on everybody but Dak. But as long as I've been watching the Cowboys over the last few years, it ain't been nobody but him that make them lose. How you got the top offense in the NFL? A few times. But every time it comes to the offense moving, you're going to blame it on the OC? Oh, so why you ain't going to say that the whole year? The man had the best offense in the league this year, but it's his fault. And I do remember Mike McCarthy playing in Green Bay with Aaron Rodgers, won 1 Super Bowl. Aaron Rodgers carried Mike McCarthy. Aaron Rodgers had stellar seasons, but those last couple years when he got fired, they were saying the same thing about Mike McCarthy that they saying about Kellen Moore. Offense is stagnant. So what we going to do now? Go to Mike McCarthy? I don't know. I think Kellen Moore shouldn't have been the only one fired. And I think since the Cowboys did so well, their chances of getting a good quarterback in the draft is going to be what it is because they always in the mix, but they come up short. So you ain't getting no good first round pick with a quarterback. But if you do get a quarterback in the first round, pick one. You got to get one. You got to start preparing for a future without Dak Prescott. I'm just saying, because I am sick and tired of being sick and tired. Stop playing, okay? All right, let's go to this next story, which involved the Eagles, good people. And this is what I thought was some bullshit. Let me just call it what it is, okay? Jalen Hurts is about winning. He wants to win. And I know he has a responsibility to himself and to his family and to the players. Giglio said on Wednesday, 94 WIP midday show. But I look at it like this. Jalen Hurts should take less to help the Eagles. Let me ask you this. Why should Jalen Hurts take less? He on a rookie deal. He ain't make no money since he's been in the NFL as far as NFL standards go. Why should he take less? He got the Eagles to a fucking Super Bowl. He got them to a Super Bowl. So why should Jalen Hurts take less money? Y'all need to figure out what y'all can do around somewhere else and keep this guy happy. Just took you to the Super Bowl. What more you want? I hate when they say he should take less so they can have, money to pay this guy and pay that. Okay, that's the team's obligation to figure out how to keep guys, how to stay competitive. The going market rate is 45 mil. Dak Prescott is making 45 mil. I think Jalen Hurts is a better quarterback than Dak Prescott. At least he's shown thus far. The Cowboys ain't sniffed a freaking Super Bowl since Dak been there. Jalen Hurts took them to the bowl. So what we talking about here? If he can't make what Dak make, that's crazy. He did more than Dak already in his career. They need to stop playing talking about people's money, man. And it be these owners and it be these general managers. I think he should take less so we can get guys around. Y'all had a great team this year. You just came up short. That same team run it back. But this man deserves to get paid. Stop playing. This is the problem that I have with Philadelphia teams. This is why I have never been a fan of Philadelphia teams. They be having guys, they don't want to pay them. The player leaves, go somewhere else and wins some shit. They need to stop playing, man. The best way for him to win is to continue to have good players around him. He got good players around him. It'll help him be a winner. And number two, Jalen Hurts has really made a football career of playing on loaded teams. He has had talent around him at a lot of his stops. What the hell that got to do with it? He do throw those balls on point. He do run. Team was loaded. Absolutely. Got him to a Super Bowl. What that got to do with his money, though? It's up to the team to keep putting good players around Jalen Hurts. It's not up to him to take a pay cut so they could do what they supposed to do anyway. What are we talking about, good people? This be that bull crap. This be that bull crap. Nah, you ain't gonna miss me with that. Cowboys be lucky to have Jalen Hurts. Because our guy look like his leg grade run off every time he run. So they need to stop playing. Okay? Let's jump on over to Giants quarterback Daniel Jones. Deadline in the sand with Saquon Barkley. Okay? Sounds like the New York Giants general manager, Joe Schoen, won't overpay to keep running back Saquon Barkley, regardless of what happens with quarterback Daniel Jones. And let's talk about that before we continue, because I want y'all to put this down in the comments. Who you think you get more value from, Daniel Jones or Saquon Barkley? And let's just talk about last year because, Saquon been hurt. But let's talk about last year. Who you got more value off, Daniel Jones or Saquon Barkley? Now, me personally, looking at Daniel Jones, I'm not looking at him as some world beater. And they talking about 37 mil per year for him. They devalued the running backs. And if it was not for these running backs, half of these quarterbacks won't look as good. Because first of all, if you look at the value Saquon brings, not only as a running back, but as a pass blocker, as a guy that can turn into a receiver out the backfield. The value of him being on your team to me is higher than Daniel Jones, because Daniel Jones is what Daniel Jones is. He's a mid-tier guy who played on a team that did the damn job last year, made it to the playoffs. So if that's the barometer for your quarterback being a keeper just because they made it to the playoffs, then everybody should not change their quarterbacks on their teams, all the teams that made the playoffs. Because the last game the Giants played, Daniel Jones didn't look that great. Saquon Barkley looked pretty good when he got the opportunity to look pretty good. What we talking about? See, if everything stops and ends with the quarterback, and your quarterback is mediocre or at the midway point, I'm sure nobody got Daniel Jones in their top 10 quarterbacks list. How are you going to devalue the running back when the running back is what makes Daniel Jones as good as he is right now? I'm just saying, a little logic goes a long way. But for some folks, I guess it don't, because it's common sense to me. Daniel Jones wouldn't be as good as he is without Saquon Barkley. So you do what you got to do to keep both those guys, if you want to keep both of those guys. If not, send them on over to Dallas. We'll take Saquon. We'll take him. Yeah, we'll take him. Yeah, we'll take him. Come on, they Saquon. Come on down to Dallas. Come on down. We'll take you. Yeah. At the end of the day, Daniel Jones, to me, in my humble opinion, well, it ain't that humble, but in my opinion, I think he ain't the quarterback without Saquon Barkley. Saquon Barkley accounts for a whole lot of their offense. What we talking about, folks? What we talking about? They need to stop playing, man. And they need to reevaluate the running back position. Because you see how important your running game is when, let's talk about Dallas in the playoffs. When they lost Pollard and Zeke looked like I could run faster than him right now. Okay. When they lost their running game, Cowboys looked like crap. And without their running game, they would be crap. I think the same deal applies for the Giants. I think you find a way to get that done. I don't see nobody asking Daniel Jones to take a pay cut to keep Barkley. They need to stop playing. Really need to stop playing, okay? Pay the man. Pay the man that pays the man. Okay, good people? All right, let's get down to the last story. Ravens head coach Harbaugh on quarterback Lamar Jackson missed playoff game. No one does more than Lamar. That's what Ravens head coach John Harbaugh said. No one does more than Lamar. I think that's a good reason for the Ravens to sit their butt down at the table and get that man paid too. Get him paid. Because the Ravens wasn't doing too well before Lamar got there. And every time Lamar got hurt, his worth was proven. Because the Ravens couldn't do crap when he wasn't on the field. See, that's how they devalue guys. Oh, he's injury prone, getting better offensive line. Call plays where he not the first option on running the ball. There's ways you can get your guy through a season. But Lamar Jackson, who won an MVP, good people, won the NFL's MVP. If you can't find a way to get that guy paid, you don't deserve to have him. We would love to have him down there in Dallas too. Send him on over. But at the end of the day, you know, you're the Ravens head coach saying no one does more than Lamar. So it sounds like he got the backing of the coach. So let's see what they said. While addressing the media separately at the NFL Combine, both head coach John Harbaugh and general manager Eric DeCosta attempted to brush aside questions about Lamar Jackson not attending the wildcard game versus Cincinnati in January. And why would he want to be there when he was hurt and he know he couldn't help his guys? How about y'all say that? NFL Combine is fully underway, and coaching staffs and scouting teams are all present to evaluate talent. For Raven head coach John Harbaugh and general manager Eric DeCosta, it seems to be just another opportunity to answer the questions about quarterback Lamar Jackson and his ongoing contract negotiations. While addressing the media separately, both brushed aside questions about Jackson's not attending the wild card game. It's nothing to talk about. The media want to make it something to talk about because they want to have something to talk about. Just like now, I got something to talk about because they talking about something to talk about. So talk about it, okay? DeCosta successfully dodged the question completely, but Harbaugh addressed it when he asked about his first impression of Jackson during the pre-draft process. Nobody does more than Lamar. I promise you. So your other question back there, I didn't mean to skip over it, but if he could have played just like all four players, he would have played. There's no question in my mind about that. And he would have played as soon as he was ready to play. You know, hopefully it would have been the next week. I don't know. Never doubt that about Lamar Jackson. That's what Harbaugh said about Lamar Jackson. So, if your coach is saying the guy would have played and could have played, oh, he would have played if he could have played. The media try to make up the stories and try to make it some stuff where it ain't no stuff. They need to stop playing, man. They need to stop playing and pay the man. Get the man his cake and let him eat it too. Stop playing. Okay? That's what I got for y'all today. It went a little long, but I like it. Y'all tell me if you like it or not. Down in them comments. Remember, like, subscribe, and follow us. And all that good stuff on our social media and everywhere else. Stop playing. Okay? Have a great day. Good people. Have a great day. And peace to you all on your journey. This has been your boy TP. Deuces. I'm out.